Welcome to Marlo Monday. I'm your host, Steve Reynolds. There was a book. Well, there is a book. I'm looking right at it, but it's not readily available. What a shame that much of Marlowe's most productive period is not available. The irony is that even when it was available, it was only available to a select few of serious students. And I'm not talking about the private manuscripts like the Riffle Shuffle Systems or Ferret Controlled Miracles, but the generally available books like the Marlowe magazines and even now, to some extent, the RCT. It's written in a way that keeps some people out. And yet most people I meet, most magicians I should say, are Marlowe guys. They just don't know it. Marlowe's contributions are so ingrained in the card magic culture that it's hard to recognize, especially if you haven't read his work. But the Marlowe style, note that word, style, has been the true foundation, to my mind, of 20th and, in serious ways, 21st century card magic. I'm currently re-examining the roots of Marlowe to track the divergent ideas that ushered in the modern era of the 50s, 60s, 70s, and beyond. But I digress. I'm looking at a book, Advanced Fingertip Control, from notes of 1956 to 1960, published in 1970. This book contains some of the most diabolically subtle and fooling controls, from the peak, fingertip peak, the spread, and riffle shuffle applications. I'd like to present one of my favorite location effects from this book. As Marlowe writes in another fantastic book, Modal Shift, from the Revolutionary Card Technique series, and I'm paraphrasing here, I don't expect you to learn every one of these techniques, but find one or two that you can use. That's good advice for the general practitioner, but for the crazies, we're reminded of a phrase in another Marlowe book in the RCT series, the Miracle Card Changes. The impact of an effect is in direct proportion to the method employed. And this holds true for the control that you use at the outset. So I've figured out a crazy way to learn as many controls as you want. Now again, by the dictates of the effect and the overall effect that you're trying to create, determines the choice of method, even in the control. Now, since my next audience first talk will be on these Marlo Monday routines, so I'll be discussing in detail the routines, the history, and some bonus material in this next talk, June 1st, 2 p.m. I will post this idea of how to get the most out of Marlowe's Advanced Fingertip Control, and even some of the other books as well on technique, in the Audience First Facebook page. So I'll teach you my method for having many controls, in this case, at your disposal. Now let's take a look at one of my favorite tricks out of Advanced Fingertip Control. All right, brothers and sisters, because it's probably just Lauren Cohen watching this. We're going to do another Marlowe miracle. Now, Lisa, my lovely wife, as I riffle through the pack like this, I want you to call out stop.
Stop.
Right there. And let's make sure that they see it. And don't you forget it either, all right? Don't forget it. You see the card. All right. And now we will lose that card. Lose it. Down in the deck. Well, maybe I got lucky and the card is somewhere near the top.
No.
No, it isn't near the top. Well, how about near the bottom?
No.
Not near the bottom.
No.
What about this one?
No.
Well, you're on your own. The path is narrow, but Marlowe will lead the way. Watch this. We'll take a few cards like this, and I just want you to name and make sure everybody can see these cards. I want you to name any card you can see here.
9 of hearts.
The 9. All right. There it is, the 9. Now you peeked at any card and we lost it in the pack. And now we count your designated number right off the top of the pack. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. And Lisa, what card did you choose?
The 10 of diamonds.
The 10 of diamonds. Another Marlowe miracle.
Why are you talking like that?
I remember being on the phone with Rocker Bomber years ago and him telling me about this effect where the card peeked that card without any shuffling or adjustments. Didn't rise from the deck, but was held in like a dealing grip, and the card emerged from the front end of the deck. And depending on which way the spectator dictated, right or left, the card would move that way. And then, miraculously, the deck was immediately handed out. So, and it could have been a borrowed deck as well, which was another factor. But I said, where is that? Where do I learn that? He said, it's in print. I said, well, great. Could you be a little bit more specific? He said, it's in a Marlowe book. I said, okay. So I thought I'd get sneaky. I called Magic Inc. Of course, that's a hub of Marlowe's output. Called them up, told them the story about how I was told that there was a Marlowe book with this particular trick in it. Didn't know the name of the trick, just the effect. And they said to me, you know how many books we have of Marlowe? You know who you should call? I said, don't tell me. Yeah, you should call John Rocker Bomber. He would know. And so it goes.